Welcome back to Digital Futures Education. Hi, today we're going to do a deep dive into AR and VR in education. This article focuses on the enhancements virtual reality brings to the classroom. It discusses in detail how virtual reality brings abstract concepts which students often don't have access to or the ability to see in 3D or other virtual ways to life for them. This article also talks about the benefits virtual reality brings to career options like architecture or other 3D modeling type careers where students can then utilize virtual environments to help have a more realistic look at the workplace. Let's reflect on your current level of AR and VR implementation into your classroom. What areas do you feel confident in? What areas do you see potential growth in? Consider a recent lesson plan. How could AR and VR technologies have been integrated to help make this a more engaging lesson? And how could the outcomes have changed? Now let's do some collaborative group questions. How do you think AR and VR can be used to address specific learning outcomes? Can you identify any challenges and solutions? Share some experiences of some successful AR and VR classroom practices. How can these help inform your new use of AR and VR in your classroom within your context and discipline? Now let's do some key concepts, skills, practices, and knowledge. The article I've cited here is from Virtual Speech. AR and VR, the future of learning experiences, as they are. Not only does this article give a definition of AR and VR, but it also discusses how AR and VR, when combined with generative AI, will help make tremendous changes to education. So let's talk about the definition of AR and VR. The term VR is the term used to describe a three-dimensional computer-generated environment which can be explored and interacted with by a person. AR is an enhanced version of reality where live, direct, or indirect views of physical real-world environments are augmented with superimposed computer-generated images over a user's view of the real world, thus enhancing one's current perception of reality. Let's discuss a few different types of AR. Location-based AR, projection-based AR, superimposition-based AR. This article also has a great section on describing what they believe will happen when we begin to see more educational applications combine AR, VR, and generative AI. When virtual reality, VR, augmented reality, AR, and generative AI converge in the realm of education, they form a transformative energy that promises to reshape learning experiences. This is going to bring more integration of hyper-personalized learning, dynamic scenario generation, adaptive assessments, learning analytics, providing educators with valuable insights for informed teaching strategies, while challenges such as socialization and the evolving role of educators need addressing. This fusion holds immense potential to create a more engaging, inclusive, and effective educational landscape. Now let's talk about digital transformation within the field of AR and VR. This is an article from perceived.design. And this article encourages industries to invest in AR and VR technologies to help support their industries more effectively. This is tremendously important because industry is going to need AR and VR technologies increasingly more to help train employees, also refine their business practices. It is essential. I selected this for the topic of digital transformation, as businesses and education are going to need to invest in these types of technologies to help expose students and the workforce to their incredible power. And one of the biggest barriers is going to be the experience and the cost of using these technologies and bringing them into a workplace consistently and effectively. Now let's discuss some technology trends. And I'm sharing an article from eSchool News, 10 cool AR and VR tools for the classroom. The reason why I selected this article is because of not only their great list of tools, but also what kind of areas their tools are covering. So I selected this article particularly because of this tool, Kai's Clan. Kai's Clan is a collaborative coding platform that encompasses several technologies into an all-in-one learning platform. Robotics, AR, VR, Internet of Things, IoT, and artificial intelligence are all integrated into this tool. We're going to see increasingly more collaborative tools specifically focused on technology skills such as coding, STEM area subjects, all utilizing the amazing power of VR, AR, and artificial intelligence in the classroom. Now let's talk about the impact on digital pedagogy. Here I'm citing an article called Game-Based Assessment Framework for Virtual Reality, Augmented Reality, and Digital Game-Based Learning. This is from Chioma Urazor, Philippe Chan, Fernando Russo Abego, and Yarka Glassi, and it's from the International Journey of Educational Technology in Higher Education. The reason why I cited this particular research is because they introduced a game-based assessment framework. I feel that we are going to see new types of assessment frameworks developed. Many of these frameworks are going to be much different than we've seen before in that they need to address some of the benefits that AR and VR bring to the classroom in terms of student choice, personalization, and ability for students to learn within virtual worlds. In this particular game-based assessment, the students not only have an overall objective in which they are to address learning outcomes, but we see that there are also game tasks, scoring metrics, and grading methods that are all tied to the overall objective. So through the capacity of students having learning objectives, the tasks of the game in virtual worlds are going to modify and challenge students in different ways, which is going to challenge education to develop new types of learning assessment. Now let's talk about an area of data analysis impact. I'm citing here an article from DataFort around leveraging AR and VR in education, revolutionizing learning, and boosting student power. So I cited this particular article because it focuses not only on talking about the promising results that has come from many types of research, but also the notice that it does need to be inclusive of all types of learners. It's important that AI, VR is designed and implemented with all learners in mind. Additionally, this article places a focus on online learning and how AR and VR has bridged the gap from what was once just an online environment, which had a screen. Now, educators and students can connect in virtual worlds and go deeper with their learning. We're going to see a greater ability to focus on developing a community of learning through AR and VR in the classroom particularly. So, of course, impacts on college and career readiness. As we've spoken about before, AR and VR can have a tremendous level of impact on the readiness of college students for career and also upskilling for career in order to learn a new skill or a new trade by empowering people to be able to have virtual experiences which help support their training. I've cited here an article from LinkedIn from Lucy Coudray, who discusses how the benefits of AR and VR virtual worlds can help upskill employees for the future. One of the big points in this article is that by bringing AR and VR technologies into the area of training in the classroom, students are able to develop more confidence with the use of these tools. And so when they see them in the real world, they will definitely have the confidence to be able to use them effectively and become comfortable with this type of technology. Measurement and application. Here I'm citing an article from Measurement and Application. Here I'm citing an article from Night Labs, which is a journalism program for Northwestern University. And they cite some of the particular AR and VR tools that they've been able to explore in their own work. And they've developed metrics for measuring the effectiveness of these tools. Some of the factors that they've been looking at in terms of assessing their tools are accessibility of production, portability of the skill set, accessibility of distribution, speed to productivity. So they've begun the development of an assessment framework for reviewing AR, VR in their own work within their lab. So now to support focus areas and goals. This is an article from the e-learning industry. Titled Implementing VR, AR in Homework, a guide for parents and teachers. So I cited this article specifically because as we move into more deeper and more impactful use of AR and VR in the classroom, we're going to start to see opportunities that AR and VR can be provided as homework. Also, it's a chance to inform. So not only does this article promote some of the benefits we have already discussed around AR and VR, such as enhanced engagement, improved retention, and also real-world applications, it also discusses how choosing the right VR, AR tools and content for homework assignments is incredibly important. The first area they cite is age appropriateness, that it suits the student's age and grade level. Relevance is the next point that they bring up, that the content should align with their curriculum. User friendliness, intuitive and easier to use tools, smooth and frustrating experience being very important. So that's a great little recap on benefits of how you could assign homework as an assignment for AR and VR. That's a great recap of tools of how you could assign homework using artificial reality or virtual reality and some of the suggestions made for doing that. So I hope you've enjoyed this session 2 of AR VR deep dives in classroom strategies. Thanks for watching the video.